because presently we'll be looking at sorting an array, and we can sort an array in either an ascending order or a descending order. We can sort an array either in ascending order or descending order, and PHP presents to us six functions which we can use to sort an array. If you see on the screen, we sort a default array either ascending or descending, then going to associative array, knowing fully well that an associative array is a mapping of key to value. So we can sort the keys in an associative array, we can sort the values in an associative array. It all depends on what we want to use. And sorting them also, we can do it in reverse way. We can do it in reverse way. We can sort them, sorry for that. We can sort them either in ascending or descending order. It just depends on what we so wish to implement. What we so wish to implement. Okay, so we'll be looking at sorting. We'll be looking at sorting. Sorry for the break in transmission. It was due to some network difficulties and technical issues. We're back. So we'll be looking at the sort functions which have been displayed for a long time on our screen, and we'll be using an associative array, and side by side we'll be using the default array. Okay, now on this very note, we'll first implement let us first implement with the default array. So I will comment this out, this associative array. All I'll do is I'll just create another array with the same name. Okay, then I'll call this 24 33 80 72. Okay, I have this as my array. So if I'm to apply the sort, the default sort, first I just have to sort this array. Okay, let me comment all this out. Sorry, let me comment all this out to. I did this on ground just to save time. So I'll comment this out. Okay, then all I have to do is now is to apply my sort, which is the first function is just to sort, and in the application of sort, I'll just call sort. I'm not going to equate it to anything. I'll just call the function this way, sort. Then next thing I can do my var dump, or let me use print out. Print out. Let me use my print out JS to go print out JS2. So I'll have on the screen, you see the output. You see the output on the screen. Good. This is different from when we did not sort the array. Sorry for that. My screen was not showing. This is different. What we had was 24, 33, 80, and 72. But what is being produced after sorting is 4, 20, 33, 72, 80, which is this is because we just applied sort. We just applied sort. Okay, let me do this. Let me echo this so that it will make it more meaningful. It will make it more meaningful. So the first thing I have to do, I'll just do what I print my print out before sorting. I'll print my print out before sorting. Then after applying sort, then I have this. So, okay, this should be array unsorted, good. Then this should be array sorted. Okay. I will have just this on the screen. So you see it when I have not sorted the array, and the result when the array has been sorted. Permit me to do this. BR, BR is an HTML tag which breaks it. Will give us the space. So good view. Okay, you see this when the array is not sorted and when the array is sorted. This is just the way we sort in the ascending order A to Z using the sort function. But if we should add a letter before the sort, and that letter is R, which means the reverse sort, then we will have a different thing as the output from 80 to 4. We have from 80 to 4. So that is what we'll see, we'll see when we are sorting reverse from Z to A. We just add the keyword R to it. Okay, so talking about associative array. Associative array, we cannot use sort, neither can we use R sort for associative array, because it is a mapping. It has keys, it has values. This default array sort is done using the index. Is done using not the index position, sorry, using the values. Generally, just done using the values, which are the items, and the index positions are not affected. But in associative array, the index position is of meaning. The index matters, which we refer to as the key. They matter. So in this situation, we'll just use an example that we're given. And the example is just this, that in a class, as you can see on the screen, in a class named JS2 class, we have the names of people and we have their scores. So we'll just assume the names are A. Okay, let me just complement this. This is Alima. This is Aha. This is the Aha, and this is good. So we have these names, Alima, Ebuka, Chioma. All these are Nigerian names. Most of them are all of them are Nigerian names, except Daddy. Daddy is an English name. Okay, all these are Nigerian names, and it doesn't matter actually. It just sorts. Good, and these are their scores. Okay, now we are presented with the challenge of sorting. So if we want to sort this array and we are sorting it, we want to sort this array. Let me take this out. We want to sort this given array. I want to sort it. Sorry, I'll take this out too. First and foremost, let me sort the array. I'll sort it using different conditions. So the first, I'm sorting using KR sort. Okay, let me start from A sort. When I sort using A sort, you see it will sort according to the values. According to the values. So let's see what the web view will give us. Okay, I have to reduce this. Sorry for that. I have to reduce this. Okay, to have this view. Good. You see, the first key here, names. And in name, we have, it has only two key, name and what? And scores. These are the keys, name and scores. But as it may interest you to know, then we have the values. Okay, you see this better. Let's, because this might be complicated for you. So let's do this. Good. Let's use a simple array. And you see this. Okay, the unsorted array, we have Paul, James, and Abel, and they have the value of 31, 12, and 52. But when we sort, this is the sorting that was done. This sort means a sort means sort an array and maintain index association. So that A is for when you are using the values, when you are sorting according to the values. When you're sorting according to the values, you use a sort. For an associative array, you see, it maintains the index association, but it sorts the values. So you see, the values are sorted. But the indexes remains. All it has to do is just to pick the value and sort it. But the the keys are unsorted. Okay. So when we decide to add an AR sort, it sorts it in a reverse order. And you see it is sorted in a reverse order. What we have here is sorted in a reverse order. So this is how we sort an associative array using the values. Using the values, we use a sort if we want to sort it A to Z from that's ascending, and we use AR sort if we want to sort it descending. Okay, when we use K sort we sort the keys. Okay, if you look at the instruction here, sort an array by key. So it sort the arrays by key, an associative array by key. You should note that the default array does not have key. So it sorts an associative array by key, and it maintains the values. There you see this, it maintains the values, but it's sorted by key. So when we should use a KR sort, it maintains the values, it maintains the values, but it sorts the key in a reverse order, which is what you have here. Okay, good. I believe strongly that you comprehended this concept. So we're presented with a little challenge, and the little challenge is in a class. In a class, in this class, uh we have names of students and their scores in a particular assessment in a tabular form. Names, the first name is Alima, the second school which have 20, Ebuka which have 15, Chioma which have 17, and Daddy which have 20, then Bayo has 12. These are their scores. So we turn the tabular data into into what? Into what is it called? Into an array. We turn the tabular data into an array. At the end of this course, I'll try to present this the tabular way. We turn the tabular data into an array, and we can observe that what we have is the question we have. We're asked to sort the array. This we've done this, and it will not be a problem to us because we've seen how to sort array and associative array. But constraint there is we should find the maximum, we should find the maximum, and we should find the minimum. Okay, so here is a question, the question that we should find the sum of the scores first. Finding the sum of the scores is just for us to use a simple logic, which is what, using the max or array sum, sorry, using the array sum, and we call the score. Remember, the score is an array, so, and that's the default array. So we just use the array score, the array sum, and we have the score. So we have the score here as 84. So if you see it, it will give you what? 84. Okay, so we can, let me just do this to make it interesting, that you have a double space uniformly. Okay, the next question is we should calculate what? We should calculate the maximum and we find the minimum. So it's just for us to implement the max and min functions in PHP. Implementing the max and min functions in PHP using what? The scores, because we are looking at the score. It's an array. So just get the maximum and the minimum, and you see they are all presented. The maximum is 20, the minimum is 20, and the minimum is what? The minimum is 12, as presented on your screen. Okay, I said I will try, I will present this in a tabular form. I'll present this in a tabular form. So quickly, let me do that before sorting this array. Let me present it in a tabular form. So just permit me, I'll end this code, then I will open it back using PHP, because I want to put some HTML codes here, and the code I want to include table, and this is it. I'm including a table. Good. And table I will include T head, which is this, and the T head has what? TR, and the TR has two things: TH, which is the names, and the next is TH, which is the scores, So if we should save this, we'll see we've gotten a table above. We'll see a table above names and score. Okay, you can't visually see that now because we have not styled it. Okay, then the next, I'll go to the T body, which is this, and T body will present me a lot of things, but I have TR, which is this, and in the TR, I'll have multiple TRs and what? TH. But first and foremost, I have to find a way of, okay, let me do this. In a TR, I'll have TD, I'll have TD. Okay, let me pause here. Then I have to find a way to loop over this array, And the good thing is that each of these arrays, each of the keys, they are uniform. So I can just make a simple for loop for or for each Now if I use for each, I'll be having some issues because I'll have to do it multiple times. So I can just simply use for $i equals to 0, $i is less than or equal to what? The count of what? Of the count of JS2, not the count of JS2, but the count of JS2 names. Count of JS2 names. and what I have $i plus plus. Okay, so when this happens, what will take place? I want it to print out some stuff for me. I want it to print out some stuff for me. So I can take this off. I can take this off. Then in the place of this, I'll have what? I'll have this JS2, because that will be the name. The first place will be name, good, and it will be what? $I, right? It will be $I. Yeah, you can't see it here as PHP because I have not included the PHP. And in this situation, I'm using the shorthand PHP. Good. So this is simple. This is simply what I want. This is simply what I want. And this is simply what I want. Then in the other TR, which I can have as in the other TD, sorry, not the other TR. In the other TD, let me just duplicate this, which I'll have at what? The scores. I'll have as the scores. Good. Now, if I should, then I have to close my PHP back. I have to close my PHP, and after the table, after the for loop, okay, permits me to take this so the table will not be looping. So the table will not be looping. So the table will not be looping. I don't want the table to loop. So I only want this part to loop. I only want this part to loop, which is this particular segment. Good. Why this part loop? This part ends it. Okay. I think I have gotten what I want. Let me see this. Expecting semicolon, line 25. Let me look for the line. Sorry, push this down. Good, good, good. You see, I'm trying to fix this. Issue and make this done. So this goes to this.